An important date has finally been confirmed for Social Security, and millions of seniors and disability recipients are anxiously waiting for this update. At the same time, there's a shocking twist from Washington that no one saw coming. This Social Security 2026 update reveals a brand new date, the predicted increase, and exactly what it means for your January 2026 payment. But here's the real question: will you get the regular small increase everyone expects, or could this time bring a much larger boost to your monthly benefits? The truth might surprise you. Stay with me till the end, because every part of this update could directly affect your next check, whether you receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA, or spousal benefits. Before we dive in, please take a second to hit that like button. It helps more seniors see this important update and shows your support for Social Security fairness. Look at this, it will shock you. Social Security 2026 COLA, new date, predicted increase, and what it means for your January payments. Millions of Americans have been waiting to hear the official numbers, how much their Social Security checks will rise next year. Originally, everyone expected the news in mid-October, but things changed dramatically. The reason? The ongoing government shutdown has delayed the official inflation report, the key data used to calculate your cost of living adjustment, or COLA. Look at this. It's really surprising. The 2026 Social Security Cost of Living Adjustment, COLA, will be announced on October 24th, following a brief delay caused by the ongoing federal government shutdown. The Social Security Administration, SSA, confirmed that benefits will still adjust on schedule from January 1st. This confirmation from SSA brought a sigh of relief to millions. Even though the announcement date changed, your benefit increase will still begin as planned in January 2026. Typically, SSA releases this information around mid-October, but because of the shutdown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics couldn't release the final inflation data on time. The new date, October 24th, is now set in stone. Look at this. This is the actual news about everyone waiting, and finally it comes because COLA date is confirmed. Millions of Americans waiting to learn how much their Social Security benefits will rise next year will have to wait a little longer. The Social Security Administration, SSA, said the official announcement for the 2026 Cost of Living Adjustment, COLA, will now be made on October 24th, instead of the original October 15th date. Following the delay of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, inflation report due to the federal government shutdown. This delay might sound minor, but for millions living on fixed incomes, every day matters. People are struggling to plan their budgets, uncertain whether the extra dollars they rely on will arrive in time to cover their rising utility bills or prescription costs. Even though the shutdown temporarily froze some government functions, SSA reassured Americans that benefit payments won't be disrupted. That's the one piece of good news amid all the chaos. What kind of increase can you expect? Let's get into the part that matters most, your increase amount. According to early projections, retirees might see an average monthly increase between $54 and $58, roughly 2.7% to 2.8%. For someone receiving around $1,800 per month, that means about $50 more, barely enough to cover a few grocery trips. But there's a growing movement in Congress to change how these adjustments are calculated, and it could make a world of difference. Look at this. Inflation to dictate a modest 2.7% increase. The annual COLA is calculated based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, CPI-E, which measures inflation over the third quarter, July, August, and September. With July and August CPI-E figures at 2.8%, analysts predict a modest 2.7% increase for 2026 once September data is released. Now, here's the issue. The CPI-E doesn't truly reflect seniors' costs. It's based on the spending habits of working Americans, not retirees. Seniors spend more on things like housing, prescription drugs, Medicare premiums, and groceries, all of which have increased far faster than the official inflation rate. This mismatch means seniors lose real purchasing power year after year, even when COLA increases appear on paper. That's why many lawmakers are pushing to replace the CPI-E with a more accurate formula known as the CPI-E, or Consumer Price Index for the elderly. This measure focuses on seniors' real expenses, such as medical care, housing, and essential goods. Analysts say that if CPI were used, seniors could see a monthly boost of $300 to $500, depending on their income and state. If you believe in this change, let your voice be heard. Comment below. I support CPI. Look at this. Inflation data used to set 2026 Social Security COLA coming October 24th. The BLS will release key inflation data despite the government shutdown. A recent estimate projected the 2026 Social Security COLA will be 2.7%. That could change if the September inflation data brings a surprise. Despite the partial shutdown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics confirmed that the crucial inflation data will still be released. Why is this important? Because the September report can change everything. If inflation is higher than expected, the COLA could jump from 2.7% to possibly 3% or even 3.5%. This isn't impossible. In fact, it's likely. According to recent Gallup research, grocery prices have risen 21% in the last 3 years, and rent has climbed nearly 28%. These increases have drained savings and pushed millions of seniors closer to the edge. For many, even a 2.7% raise feels like a drop in the ocean when every visit to the store or pharmacy costs more than it did last month. That's why a growing number of lawmakers are pushing back. Senator Bernie Sanders and several others have renewed calls for the Social Security Expansion Act, a proposal to boost benefits by $2,400 per year for every recipient. Imagine what that could mean: an extra $200 per month every month to help seniors stay afloat amid record rent and healthcare prices. Supporters argue that America can afford this. After all, retirees have paid into the system for decades. This isn't a gift, it's a promise that must be kept. If both changes happen, the switch to CPI and the adoption of the Expansion Act, the average senior could see a $2,400 yearly raise plus an additional $300 to $500 monthly boost. That's not just an adjustment, that's a real improvement in quality of life. If you believe seniors deserve this relief, comment below. Speed balloon, I support Social Security increase. And remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. Social Security isn't a luxury, it's survival for millions of Americans. About 66 million people depend on these checks every single month. Many have no other income. Some are choosing between paying for food or filling prescriptions. Every year, prices climb higher while benefits lag behind. A carton of milk, a dozen eggs, rent, electricity, everything is more expensive, but the COLA barely keeps up. That's why this year's announcement, delayed or not, carries such heavy weight. It's more than a number. It's about dignity, fairness, and economic justice. Seniors didn't break the system, they built it. They worked, paid taxes, and upheld their end of the bargain. Now, the government must uphold its promise. So here's the big takeaway. Look at this. The COLA announcement will now come on October 24th. The new benefits will begin January 2026. The expected increase is 2.7%, though it could rise if inflation spikes. Lawmakers are fighting to replace the outdated CPI-W with CPI-E, which would finally reflect seniors' real expenses. The Social Security Expansion Act could bring an extra $2,400 per year to every beneficiary. This is a moment that will shape your financial future for the year ahead and possibly for years to come. So don't stay silent. Spread awareness, comment below, and keep this conversation alive. Every voice matters, and together, seniors can demand the fairness they've earned. Thank you so much for watching and for standing up for the millions of Americans who depend on these benefits. Stay strong, stay informed, and take care of yourself and your loved ones. We'll continue to fight for what's right, because Social Security is not charity, it's your right.